Main event time. Daniel Cormier, Jon Jones. We've made it all this way, Sean, in one recording.
Yeah.
DC, Jon Jones, UFC 200. Break it down for us here. Who do you have and why? Let's jump, because we know we've seen these guys fight before. We know what the whole setup is. We know what with Jones. We saw him fight against OSP. The ring rust is off. He's one of the best fighters, if not the greatest fighter in the history of the UFC. This and Cormier has been absolutely outstanding, on a tear, the best he's ever looked. I think this is the best possible fight that you can put together in mixed martial arts today. Who do you got and why?
Well, I was going to let you go first on this one there,
all right,
Brian, because I want to see where you're leaning toward here, because I might surprise you.
You might surprise me. Well, I know it's going to happen there. Jon Jones is going to win this fight. I think it's going to be very close. I think it's going to be much closer than their last fight, where Jones was able to kind of do what he wanted with Cormier. And, of course, he got taken down a couple times. But the longer that fight went on, DC was not able to handle what Jones was putting out. And for me, I think all the passes in the past for Jones, that was the whole build up to 197. At 197, I might have picked Cormier to win this. But this is 200. I think this is Jones. This is his time to finally put his staple on the fact that he can be the greatest of all time in this sport. He's going to have to be wary of DC when it comes to, obviously, the wrestling, obviously the takedowns. He's going to have to utilize that range. He's got to keep his distance. He's got to be able to throw those elbows, and he stuffs takedowns incredibly well. He can do pretty much anything you ask for, and I think he beats Cormier in a fight where you might see DC get a little bit desperate towards the end of the fight, and I think Jones wins by stoppage in either the fourth or the fifth round. But I think DC can absolutely win this fight. Just the way I've seen it happen, the way I've seen him progress as a champion, the heart that he's shown against Alexander Gustafsson, the way he just completely shut down Anthony Johnson. I watched that fight back. He just made him look like you took the guns away from the most powerful puncher in the UFC. And I think Jones can come at you in so different ways, and I think that reach is going to be paramount. As long as he can stuff these takedowns and not get suplexed, which we've seen Cormier do to Jones before, which is a jarring image, but he's got to be able to do something with it. And if he can do something to Jones with that, he's got a shot. But to me, he's stuffed 95% of the takedowns he's ever faced, Jon Jones. And I think he is going to win his belt back and become the light heavyweight champion of the world. Once again, he's basically undefeated. That disqualification laws, obviously, people talk about it, doesn't really count in the minds of pretty much everybody. I got Jones here. I'm guessing you have something up your sleeve, a little bit of a surprise for me.
Well, no, I think Jones is going to have his way with Cormier.
Yeah.
And I think we get the Silva-Weidman effect happen in this fight. I think Jon Jones is going to, think he's got it right where he wants it. And I believe it's going to open up for Cormier. And Cormier retains his title in the fourth round.
You think we get a Cormier knockout?
Not say knockout, but he's going to open it up to where it's going to be a stoppage in the fourth round for Cormier retaining his title due to Jon Jones. I think he's gonna outclass, I think, Cormier for a bulk of the fight, and I think he's gonna get comfortable and do his Jon Jones thing and open up a window for, just like what Silva did with Weidman, and Cormier's gonna take advantage of it, and then we get the trilogy.
That would be an absolute stunning end to 200. It'd be the most. I mean, it's already shaping up to be the most memorable fight card of all time. But man, if that happens, you can have if that happens, you know what? I'll give you +2. We'll make the fight worth more for you if you can accurately predict Cormier doing that. I will give you more points for that, because man, If that happens,
I may just start, just going through all the fights from now on.
Yeah, man. I don't see that happening as much as much as a professional wrestling writer that you are.
Yeah, see, that's my problem. That's my problem. That's where I go wrong on some of this stuff.
Yeah, and that's why I'm so.
But I just think with Jon Jones, like he's gonna I think with the reach thing, he's gonna frustrate Cormier, and I think he's gonna be doing exactly what Jon Jones said he's gonna do, and I have a feeling. Not saying he's gonna sit there and start dancing and all this stuff, but I think he's gonna leave an opening to where he's gonna get comfortable, lackadaisical that he's got Cormier where he wants him, and it's gonna allow Cormier to come back into this fight, and Cormier is going to take advantage of it and out of nowhere get the victory.
I think Jones is, for lack of a better word, I think he's too good for that when it comes to finishing fights. I think he's too smart.
But wouldn't you have said the same thing about Silva when he was fighting Weidman? Wouldn't we have said the same thing at that point?
Well, Silva got caught because I think
he started juking and jiving like he was
Jones
dodging the
doesn't
air.
do that though.
Huh?
Jones doesn't do that.
No, but I'm saying is, I'm not saying he's going to sit there and dance. But what I'm saying is he's going to get lackadaisical, like, oh, okay, I got this fight, and it's going to allow Cormier to come back in. He's not going to be. I think if Jones is Jones, he's gonna frustrate him. He's going to instill his will. But I think at some point he's going to be like, I got this fight. I'm up. I got this fight, and it's going to allow Cormier to come back in and steal the victory.
It's funny because I think Cormier wins the first round.
No.
I think Jones kind of just he tries to get a read on him in the beginning. Because Jones, for as dominant as he is he the most exciting fighter in the world? Not really. I mean, watching that OSP fight, everyone's like, "Oh, he sucks." He's not the same guy. I mean, he has a lot of ring rust. He broke OSP's arm in the third round. He was all over him in rounds. I mean, it was unanimous. I thought he won every round, but he got stronger and stronger as the fight went on. I think there's more of an opportunity for Cormier to win early rather than late, actually, when it comes to this fight. I just think Jones, I think those elbows are going to be the biggest problem because they're so devastating, they're so sharp, and if Cormier gets hit in the head with a couple of those, I think it's really tough. But again, remember, Daniel Cormier has lost how many fights in his career, Sean? 1.
Yeah.
2 Jon Jones.
Yep.
So for all the people who are selling DC short, please don't.
No, I don't think it's. Look, when I say Jon Jones is going to outclass, I just mean he's going to frustrate him. He's going to stick
for sure.
and move and things like that. But I don't mean like he's going to be dominating him, like on the ground, elbowing him and everything else like that. I think he's almost going to. I won't say play with the prey a little bit, kind of like. Yeah. I just feel like that's what's going to happen. Is going to allow Cormier to where he's not going to take a lot of punishment, but Jones is going to kind of like stick and move kind of thing, just set up to where Cormier doesn't have a lot of damage to him, and it's going to allow for something. I just think that it's going to be not a thing where Cormier's just dominating the fight to win it. It's going to be somewhere like all of a sudden, boom, suplex, somehow he's into a position and the fight's over.
All right. I mean, that would be stunning. I would love to. I mean, who knows? Because these are the two best athletes, the 2 best fighters at light heavyweight. Obviously, I mean, Jones, in my opinion, is the best fighter in the UFC. Cormier is certainly up there.
I just like how 5. UFC.com already got Jones in the gold. That's pretty good.
Really?
Yeah, they got Jones in the gold championship trunks, and Cormier's in his black monster tights.
It's funny because this is the first time I think we'll get to see the new colors from the kits.
So are all the belts on the poster, or is that just a McGregor thing?
I don't know because it's funny because I saw a fan made a poster, which actually kind of looked better than the original UFC 200 poster, and Dana White on Twitter tweeted at the fan